The fall of Zia Yusuf and his ascent, indeed, few exits in recent British politics have been as abrupt or as revealing as that of Zia Yusuf, the multimillionaire tech entrepreneur and now ex-chairman of Reform UK. Less than a year ago, Yusuf was being spoken of as a man who might one day replace Nigel Farage. Not unlike the speakings of Musk, who said that one day Rupert Rob Arthur Lowe would replace Nigel Farage. Today, Zia Yusuf is out, bruised, disillusioned and clearly resentful. So what happened? Why does his departure matter? Well, Yusuf's ascent was Meteoric, a former banker and co-founder of the high-end concierge app Velocity Black, a sort of Uber Eats for billionaires with submarines. Yusuf brought with him an aura of international success, sleek modernity and, crucially, money. He donated $200,000 to Farage's party, quadrupled its membership and was instrumental in helping Reform UK achieve its highest polling yet, breaching the 30% mark according to Techni. To the party's foot soldiers, especially those keen to deflect accusations of racism, Yusuf was a badge of honour or beard, a British Asian Muslim as chairman of the right-wing populist outfit which was accused so often of racism. But this professionalisation came at a price. He was by many accounts a tough taskmaster. Staff revolts followed, allegations of a toxic work environment surfaced. One insider described Reform UK HQ as a pig in an abattoir. Still, Yusuf survived these rows until the one issue that always haunts Reform: Islam. The catalyst for Yusuf's resignation came from the mouth of Reform's newest MP, Sarah Pochin. Her debut at Prime Minister's Questions, a call to ban the burqa. Yusuf, reportedly blindsided, took to Twitter. It's dumb for a party to ask the PM to do something that isn't party policy. It was a clear rebuke, not just of Pochin, but of the culture in Reform that encourages inflammatory grandstanding without internal coherence. And the backlash was immediate. Within hours, Yusuf had quit. No consultation, 10 minutes notice to Farage, a mic drop of a resignation letter. I no longer believe working to get a Reform government elected is a good use of my time. That's not a statement of personal burnout, whatever Isabel Oakeshott claims. That's a denunciation of the entire project. The use of resignation is not an isolated case. Reform UK eats its own. Just months ago, Rupert Rob Arthur Lowe was ousted after allegedly threatening Yusuf. Then there was Ben Habib, Howard Cox, all now gone or marginalised and forgotten. Farage insists he was upset by Yusuf's exit and called him an enormously talented person. I'm not shallow, and nor was he. But his actions suggest otherwise. Yusuf had already been quietly sidelined, stripped of operational control and sent off to the so-called Doge unit, a Reform-style audit of council spending modelled bizarrely on Elon Musk's 130-day Twitter clear-out. The move was framed as strategic. Insiders knew it was a demotion, and now Dodge has no leader and Reform has no chairman. The debacle exposes a deeper structural problem in Reform, the Farage paradox. On the one hand, he's the party's greatest asset, a communicator of Churchillian confidence in a sea of mediocrity. On the other, he's a bottleneck to growth. The party's inner circle is vanishingly small. It's built around personality, not policy, loyalty, not ability, and Yusuf represented a challenge to that. Rich, assertive, and not afraid to speak his mind, he was tolerated just until he overstepped, and when he publicly embarrassed Farage's chosen MPs, the clock began ticking, and Reform now risks becoming what critics claim it already is, not a political movement, a franchise held by one man. And the absence of durable talent, the preference for stunt candidates, even the reported interest in recruiting a Love Island contestant as a retired or a retired boxer, it all makes Reform look unserious. Zia Yusuf's departure may not shift the polls today, but it reveals what lies behind the curtain. A brittle party structure, poor internal discipline, and a leader unwilling to share power. Reform has caught the wind of popular discontent, but unless it builds a real ship, staffed by real navigators, it will remain just that, a wind-blown combustible barge with no captain but Farage, and even Farage cannot sail alone forever.